Now is the time.
Forever? Tangent. Old.
Halt.
Hashtag always MGM.
You are approaching the unloading
Everybody
area.
calm down. AK haters.
But what if it could?
Behold the
Disney
majesty of the
breeze.
Sistine Ceiling.
For the kids.
A salute to all theme parks, but mostly Walt Disney World.
Ha! What a cute ending.
Aloha and
Don't Dillo it.
This is Theme Park Thursday with Dillos Diz. She is Jen.
Hello.
And I am Frank, and for the first time in 5 weeks or so, we are having a Theme Park Thursday podcast episode.
Look at us. We're back.
Now, keep in mind, we did 24 days of Dillo's Disney reviews during the month of December.
Yeah.
Jen, in retrospect, reflecting, looking back on the 24 reviews that you carefully edited, how do you feel?
It's a big transition going from just so many episodes and the editing of audio and video and then not doing any kind of recording or editing for like 2 weeks. It's like, what just happened? So now we're back. You know, we do our things and it's good. It's fun. I hope everyone enjoyed the 24 days. We got some positive feedback over on the X Twitter. That was nice to see. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I think in the overall, I think in the crazy that was the year 2025, it was a proper epic conclusion, no pun intended, 2025 being the year Epic Universe opened. But if you're new to the podcast, if you're checking us out for the first time, if you've just started following us in different places, go check out those 24 reviews. You will find out what we're all about. And that is, at the end of the day, we're two old kids who want a podcast that sounds like we're speaking on a landline telephone.
I think we achieved that, quite honestly, even including some of those 24-day episodes where you could hear me say hello. I clearly said hello, but the recording did not pick up on the hello. And so that's typical for a phone. Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
I can't hello.
Compared to the 90s where I would call and Jen would pick up and I go, yo.
Yo. Isn't that what we do now?
I think we still do that in the rare times that we use a phone call as a way to communicate.
I feel like in 2025, you probably called me more than we had spoken on the phone.
The previous 25 years.
Yeah.
Well, it is 2026. It is a new year. We have kind of this podcast episode in the grand scheme of things in two parts here today.
Mhm.
The first part being because we did those 24 reviews that were focused on the meetup that we did in November. We missed some news. We might have hinted at it during the reviews, but we didn't really deep dive on that for some reason, choosing not to tangent on relevant topics. Go figure.
Only irrelevant.
Only
I'm saying it right in my head and it's not coming out.
irrelevant.
Yeah, that word.
That word. Well, we have some news from December that we're not going to take too much time on because it's kind of old news already. We're not a news broadcast. We barely get the facts across, and most of the time we don't do that at all. But there's some things we should probably touch on briefly in the first half of this podcast. And then in the second half of the podcast, I thought we would focus on something we bring up often on Theme Park Thursday in our conversations in our one-channel Discord that is associated with our Patreon, DillosDizResorts.com. $1 gets you into that one channel, world-renowned, world-famous Discord, just $1 a month. You can join for free, and you get all the podcasting updates there. But that's where we're recording this episode right now.
I love how you say, like, oh, we missed some news in December. And we had talked about what we would discuss on this podcast yesterday, I think.
Hmm.
Today, as we record this, which is Monday, January 5th, all the news is dropping all over. Like, well, we're already overdue.
Already. We're
We're getting-
already working uphill. Yeah, it was a big news day all the summer. Well, and it's Monday night, and they say there's going to be like official announcements on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So here it is. You're listening on Thursday, and we're already outdated, which is a theme of the podcast, quite honestly.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
It's
all nostalgic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, the news is already. We're going to touch on the nostalgic news from December. It's already old news. So I did write some things down to touch like a hit and miss.
you prepped.
And then, but in the second half, did I say what the second half of the
I
podcast
don't
was
know.
going to be?
We have derailed, yeah.
So in the second half, something that we talk a lot about on the podcast and with the community at large is the idea of the walkout. And walking out of a Walt Disney World park or any Disney park at the end of the night. I want to try to break down what we think might be the best walkout in Walt Disney World. But we'll talk about what goes into a walkout for each of us. I don't know if we've really done a breakdown of what those things are. And we'll see if we can have a conclusion by the end of the podcast. Probably not.
We'll see. Do I have to make a final decision?
You might.
I don't know about that then.
All right. So during the month of December, while we were doing the 24 days of Dillo's Disney reviews, the news immediately dropped at the beginning of the month. They said, hey, here's everything that's going to happen in Walt Disney World during 2026. And I was like, okay, here's this, here's that, here's the other thing. And then maybe on theme with Monday's news, all the things happening in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
So in the summer, you got Soarin' Across America, you got Millennium Falcon with Mando, you got Bluey in the Animal Kingdom, you got the Rock and Roller Coaster with the Muppets, you got the Magic of Disney Animation in the courtyard at the studios, and you got the water park deal that we didn't know when we recorded our Typhoon Lagoon review, but Pixie Dust PhD herself, Dr. J, was quick to point out, like, hey, New York newbies, they announced this in the fall. She said it just like that, by the way, in a text. Hey, New York newbies, they announced this in October. Get catch up to the rest of us. And I was like, I was still angry about the Mets in October, which carried on throughout the rest of the year. That's not a tangent we're going into.
No, and that's more discussion we have with Dr. J. Our baseball discussions as well.
We do have a lot of baseball discussion with Dr. J. That is true. Jen, in terms of the summer coming up, you like to plan your July trips recently. Is this something that has caught your attention and you're looking into?
Which part? All of the news caught my attention. So many things.
Well, I know we're going to go into the other summer things that have come up today.
But, I'm excited that Bluey will be represented in the parks because, I feel like the fact that Bluey at this point has been around for as long as what am I doing? That Bluey has been around for as long as she has is surprising because what is time? The kids are 2, aren't they?
Yeah.
But Bluey has been a staple in our homes, in friends' homes for years at this point. And, a lot of the times when we talk about what to put in that animation courtyard and what to do in the studios, I do kind of push for Disney Junior, Disney Kids representation in the parks because this is the shows they're watching. They're watching, Sophia the First. Are they still? I don't know. They're watching. These are the things I was watching with my kids. So all of those shows, didn't you just put up? You put up a photo today, right, from 2018 of the 9-year-old and.
The 9-year-old was with Sophia and the 11-year-old was with BB-8.
Right. But yeah, so, you're seeing these characters. Bluey is one of those characters. And I feel like if a kid is going to Disney, they're going to be looking for these characters. So it's nice to see that. I'm happy that they're doing something with Animation Courtyard. We've said that before. I'm unhappy they got rid of the arch, and I'll never forgive them. So, I think there's exciting things. Muppets, we will never get over. I'm happy Muppets will be somewhere in the park. I probably won't see them, but I'm happy they're somewhere in the park. So, and we'll see if more develops from Rock and Roller Coaster and having them there.
Well, there's so many things that have happened that I don't know what to say first. The Muppets Rock and Roller Coaster sounds good in theory, and then I was going through that and it's like great Muppets back. They were Kermit and Piggy. We talked about them in the Holidays in Hollywood show.
Yeah.
We love seeing that. And then I saw a permit being filed for the Monsters Inc. show going into the Muppets Theater. And immediately I was annoyed. And I was like, wait. You have the Rock and Roller Coaster, and, you're getting these teaser trailer nows for Sabrina Carpenter hosting the Muppet Show with a little Seth Rogen tease at the end of the episode. And the meta tongue-in-cheek joke of it's the first episode that maybe will lead to more episodes, maybe possibly. So here you got something else going into what was basically a perfect representation of the Muppets Theater. Because they made those decisions, and now here we are. We're gonna see back on television the freaking Muppets Theater. Not months later. What are we doing?
Yeah. It all makes sense. Now I'm going to have to put an explicit warning on this podcast. Because
I said freaking.
I'm just joking.
Like freaking Finelli, Regis's friend.
I'd also, let me just sidetrack back to Sophia the First for a second. Ryan apparently has found out what being royal is all about because he says he has seen every episode of Sophia the First. So perhaps we need a Disney Junior deep dive day with Ryan. I don't know. Maybe that needs to be an episode.
That might be
nostalgic Disney Junior, I guess, at this point.
To this day, I will still sing, and I don't know the specific episode. I don't know the character's name. She ends up in Sophia's school because she looks like somebody else, but she's lamenting about her, and she's like, "Oh, Dunwitty. Oh, Dunwitty." I do that all the time.
You do that, okay? Yeah.
Just as a thing. Yeah. Bluey, by the way, the most watched thing on Disney Plus all last year.
Yeah.
And then if you fish around for that kind of streaming news, that was pretty good. That was pretty good right there. Fishing and streaming. I didn't mean to do that.
Look at you.
And then Moana 2 was so huge. And I'm like, I've only seen Moana 2 once in the movie theater. The 9-year-old's like, I don't get it. And I understand totally. But I come back to the theme parks again and go, do we have enough Moana in the parks after all these years? I still don't think we do.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole path we can go down that I feel like we have to save for another episode. There's too much news.
I can't go down this path. Here's a quick one I want to touch on because you talked about this in the One Channel Discord, and that is in December we got all these teases for Avengers Doomsday coming out in December. With that, they announced that Avengers Endgame would be re-released into the theaters in September of 2026. You suggested possibly maybe finally taking this Marvel crusade through the movies, especially now that Hallmark season is over. Where are you on that for realsies?
Yeah, I don't know that that's exactly how that
You
went.
say you're going to watch all the movies and all the series.
Years ago, I said, oh, I should do that. And I do believe Lexi put that in the Discord saying maybe now's the time with all of this. But as you're starting this going, you discuss in the Discord, then you're saying Avengers. And I'm like, I'm talking about what? Are you talking about? So already.
Lexi brought it up? Well, never mind.
It's not really in my head already. It sounds nice, and that would be a good way to see it. I'm not really anywhere. I'm still mourning the end of Hallmark season, and so I had to go back into my oldies but goodies to feel some comfort. So, I need to, I do need to do that deep dive at some point. You haven't seen all the movies, though.
I've seen enough of the movies. I've seen half. I definitely haven't seen like the last 5 years. I don't know if I've watched much since Endgame because to me that means it's over. So
That's not what Endgame means.
I'm like, that's it. Just like Stranger Things season 1, I was like, I'm never watching Stranger Things again. That's it. I know you teased something at the end of that. Nope, it was perfect. Leave me alone. That's all I need. That's it. I'm not watching it. I don't know who that sounds like as we try to convince Papa Dillo years later to still watch Ted Lasso.
Ugh. Still saying no.
Watches every sports movie ever made. Refuses to watch Ted Lasso.
You have to get him off of Blue Bloods.
It's because he knows we all like it, so he therefore cannot like it.
Has to go against it.
Speaking of Hallmark movies, we did touch on this one a little bit.
Yeah.
There was a Hallmark movie with Lacey Chabert and Richard Kind filming in Walt Disney World last month in December. They announced it during a Hallmark movie or whatever, and then later on there was hints. There was I don't know if it's confirmed speculation that this is actually a trilogy because Lacey Chabert, she likes to do those trilogies anyway. That this will be a Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise trilogy.
Right.
Where do you sit with that, Jen?
I'm very excited. First of all, again, we did this. You're welcome, everybody. Talking about our love of Disney. And, they probably weren't even going to do the 3. But then they heard you went to Disneyland last year. We've been on Disney cruises now. They were like, this makes sense. I'm excited. I'm intrigued. There are times where I'm like, oh, let's not mess with anything. Let's not mess with Hallmark. Let's not mess with Disney. But at the same time, I'm excited. However, side tangent, quick side tangent about Hallmark. Here's what I didn't see this season on Hallmark. I didn't see the classic formula. And I wasn't happy. I didn't see one movie with the classic formula. Where is the business person? Where is the small town person falling in love? I didn't see one of those movies from this year. Obviously, I went back because I need that.
Yes.
So these Disney movies also speak to, look, we're going in different directions. Okay, but I also you have to incorporate all of it. Anyway, I think people are just giving them too much slack online for like it's the same movie. So anyway, okay.
Yeah, I get it. No, and I'm with you. You need at least. I don't mind them branching out either, but you got to have like a core of like, we're gonna give you 5 to 6 core movies out of the 30 that we're making.
Exactly. And, I did see the snowball fight was replaced with flour throwing during baking. I get it. All right. We're doing different things. I get it. Anyway, but we grew up with a lot of the sitcoms going to Disney, and we would always love when they were like on location in Disney and filming the shows. So, I'm excited. Obviously, I'm going to be all in on these.
Yeah, no, we've done the Full House and Boy Meets World rewatch for the purposes of our content. And, the thing that I already will let go of over time is I just know, and this is why Lewis will never watch this movie, is because the continuity of like getting from one place to the next across 43 plus square miles of Lake Buena Vista property. Yeah. It never lines up in these things. It drives me bonkers. Yeah. Like, I don't, I think maybe it's the Roseanne episode where John Goodman is running out of the Magic Kingdom because he can get beer in Epcot. And like, they're like it's 2 seconds later. I'm like, listen, it's going to take you a while, especially you, John Goodman. It's going to take you a while. Yeah. To get there. You're going to get distracted, John Goodman. Come on.
Yeah. Same in Boy Meets World because they're like in the living seas. And then like Danielle Fishel and Andrew Keegan are on Dumbo. What are we doing?
They're always in why is the living seas like or the seas with Nemo and friends? Why is, if I'm using real names, why is that? Because it's always a filming location for these shows. Why?
Always. There's space. I think there's space and there's less crowds. Well, not in the seas, but in the walk around area, but the background, I guess.
And to say, now that Hallmark season is over, you did not watch the Lacey Chabert crashes on a deserted island movie that was on January 3rd?
No. They started because I had the Hallmark Plus this year. And they started creeping in towards the end with the commercials for the other things. Because there's no commercials, but then every once in a while they show an ad for the upcoming movie. And the 8-year-old was like, she's going to be in a movie? I go, yeah, so Hallmark also does movies and shows outside of Christmas. She's like, yeah, but they're probably not the same. I'm like, exactly.
That's correct.
Exactly.
The 9-year-old, no, she's like, nope, I need the movie.
Yeah.
She's into the formula of
She's
the.
it. Yeah.
All right, two more things I want to touch on. I know we're going to talk about this summer stuff a little bit more too. But the first thing I want to talk about is Arendelle is coming to Disneyland Paris this year. They got Olaf walking around as like an animatronic droid type thing in Arendelle. Yeah. Why can't we get nice things? I mean, I know why we can't get nice things in Disney World, but Disneyland, I think, would do well with that.
No, that Olaf's adorable.
Yeah, this is my thing. I'm going to tell you right now where I will hurt is if around the holidays they announce that they're going to be ringing the Yule Bell in Arendelle in Disneyland Paris.
Oh man,
I might have to go to Paris.
They do a whole thing. And then almost time.
Listen, I get made fun of in this home for my pure, unbridled joy I have for Olaf's Frozen Adventure.
Yeah.
Because it's a level, Dillo is suppressed thing. I cannot contain it with Olaf's Frozen Adventure. It brings me great joy. And that's the moment right there. And it's almost time. Like,
here
listen,
so good.
that's all I need.
Yeah.
And to say, I think in modern times, what is modern times? That's as close to a perfect holiday special as you can get. Post, I don't know. I'll put it against those prep and landings. Yes, I will. Like, better than those.
Oh, interesting. We'll have to. That's another deep dive. That's
Lewis
another
is gonna
deep
get
dive.
mad at me for that one. I know.
Lewis has it in his spreadsheet, ranked. Probably.
And finally, the reason why they made all of these summer announcements this week, not because the busy holiday season is over in the theme parks. No. It's because on December 30th, the giant boulder from the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular rolled off the track and headed towards the audience, making impact with a cast member who I believe is also a stuntman. I don't know if that's verified, or a former stuntman, who took a flat back bump to save the audience from having an epic. What's the game where you used to have the big ball and like you would go across your hands and you try to get it over the net, and all like an elementary school thing.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
like one of those situations.
It's probably totally the same thing.
I don't think so. Every angle of that, by the way, is amazing. Something you thought you'd never see, and here we are. It's a perfect way to end 2025 in the theme parks.
I mean, first of all, can I just say I am a little annoyed by the news headlines, stories that have been picking up about people passing away at Disney in recent months or so, because they're trying to make it seem like, oh, what's going on in Disney? And it's like, this has been happening forever.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people are in Disney World every day? Like, what? But now it's like, oh, look, another person. So then when something like this happens, and the cast member is fine, and thank goodness, and he is a hero for saving all the people in the crowd, because if that would have hit a kid, my God. But like the fact that then it just adds to like Disney is really getting a little crazy with what's going on down there. All right, relax. This show has been around forever, and does never happened.
Never.
No. I mean, so
everyone calm down.
Everyone calm down.
In our TeePublic shop. Ryan is mentioning the snow in Paris that was on the buildings in Arendelle. Like, I'm here for all of it. Like, I don't know. And let me tell you, if the price, you could, over in December, you could fly to Europe cheaper
Yeah.
than you could to
Yeah.
Florida, you know, I might consider it. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, if I could do, I often say like my London trip has to be like Christmas time because Love Actually, and so like I can, but I hop on over because sometimes when we discuss a Disneyland Paris trip, we're like, well, while we're there, we might as well go to London, and so that would all work together perfectly.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, that's what the only time I've been there. We did London first, and then took the tunnel over to
Yeah,
Paris. I think that's the move for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
All right. So then, in these other summer announcements they made today, anything else jump out? Like the 2 extra days in the resort on a 4-night stay. It's obviously a big deal. Because do you have a bounce back in the summer
I have
currently on
bounce
the
backs
books?
always. I just put bounce backs and I don't know what I'm doing until about a week before. And I go, am I canceling this or am I going? And I don't know. So yeah, I got a bounce back for July. Am I going? I don't know. We have to figure out other trips that may happen this summer, so we have things to
Oh
figure
yeah.
out. I don't know. However, right before recording, I was trying to go through it a little bit because I hadn't had a chance prior to that to just like I wanted to price out and screenshot what
Screenshot.
the prices are right now because sometimes I feel like when you do the package, the room and the tickets, and I found this at like Legoland New York as well.
Mhm.
I'm like, no, you're charging me way more money than that should be because of the package. And I'm just like, ooh, a package. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't buy into it. So I wanted to see what it would be. So I did do, and I looked up the, like, what's the cheapest hotel that I did like the, July 6th to July 12th, just to price it out. All Star Sports was $191. I'm like, fine, let's go with that. Which, by the way, my bounce backs were cheaper than that, but that's fine. And so All Star, so that would be the 6 days with 6 tickets. That would come to $42.97. 6 nights at All Star, 6 days of tickets.
I mean, does it say you have to go to the parks for the 5th and 6th day when you get the 2 extra resort days? That's my question. That was the question I had when I saw it this morning, and also did not spend enough time on it to comment too far here. But my first thought was like, oh, do you get 2 resort days, a day in Disney Springs? Like,
Right.
is that the trip you get with this kind of deal, or do you got to go to the parks?
Well, I guess the idea is that you can go, and then it's basically free because it's Disney math. Because if you're doing the 2 extra nights and you get those 2 extra days of tickets.
Right.
So, okay. So then I did a 4-night, 4-day ticket thing. Then it's all 1 day, 1 park type tickets. That came to $34.59. Now, when it was the 4 nights, All Star was $180, and then when it was 6 nights, it was $191. So we're already working with a $10 difference here. So who knows how that's going to factor in? But I don't know. I'm interested to see what that price is out to be. Like, I'll just play around with that tomorrow of like, what would this be and how much is it? And again, already knowing that like, I'll speak for myself of I have a bounce back around those times. The hotel was much cheaper than what this is offering.
Yeah.
So already I'm like, knowing they also sometimes do the 3-day, 3-park deal. I don't know that that's going to be a thing because they're offering this, so
Combine it,
probably
yeah.
not.
Right.
I miss the 4-day 1-park deal from years ago.
Yep.
Also, I know the dining plan thing for the kids is a thing. Also, they're also doing the free water park during the summer.
Yep.
There's a lot of play. I do think if it is your first time going to Disney, this is definitely something to look into. The fact that you could get a free water park day, the fact that you can get 2 extra nights and days of tickets, very intriguing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. And I mean, I guess that's how I'm looking at it as the day you arrive, you get that night free. The night before you leave, you get that night free. And then you got 4 days in the parks with the 4 nights of your resort stay, right? I mean, that's how my Disney math brain is putting that together. So then you get the water park on the first day.
Right.
And then that's like, oh, a free water park and a free night at the resort. And then I'm doing my 4 nights. And then my last day when I go to Disney Springs and shop and eat and spend more money than I would have at a park, then then I'm staying at the hotel for free. That I mean, that's That would be my justification, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely worth a deeper dive.
Yeah. I'm seeing Jeffers saying you have to buy 4 days of tickets. The other 2 days of tickets are free. Oh, I don't have the article up anymore. I don't remember where I was reading it, so I don't want to say the wrong blog. It was not official Disney. It was a Disney-esque blog.
Are we saying tickets and not just the resort room? It's tickets too?
Yes, 2 days of tickets.
Oh,
and
I didn't
2
see
nights.
that at all.
That's why I'm saying, so you're getting the 2 days of
Oh.
tickets, so you might as well go to the parks.
Oh.
Right.
I didn't see that this morning.
Yeah.
All right.
So again, if it's my first time going, I've never been to Disney. This is incredibly interesting to me.
Right.
I did see Jeffers in whatever blog I read, and I'll have to try to pull it up later. That I think it said you have to, like, as you're going through the booking, do like the 6 nights and the 6 days of tickets. But yes, then ideally 2 nights are free, 2 days of tickets are free. So we'll have to see how that actually plays out.
I mean, you know, we pick and choose. I mean, for our meetups, we kind of do our own thing. When we went to Universal in 2024 and when we went to Disneyland last year, we used a planner. That kind of a deal makes me go, I don't want to think about this. I'm going to talk to a planner. I feel like that is when those situations, that is where you got to go.
Because it's so confusing. And as I was going through the pricing, then it was giving me the dining plan options, which I've never even seen dining plan option, like how it's priced. I've never even seen that. So the fact that it was coming up, I was like, oh, I can't go down this rabbit hole. No way.
Yeah. Before we were confused about DVC, we were confused about dining plans.
And I'm still confused about both. Jeffers saying, now you book a split stay, so then you get 2 water park days. That's... I wonder if you can do that in this deal. Or they go, no, it has to be at the same resort.
Yeah. They'll get you.
I don't know.
They'll get you. All right. Well, that is the news portion of the podcast. I guess we had a news portion of the podcast.
Yeah, look at us.
You know,
to ring in the new year.
Yeah, I'm doing new things in the new year. Second half of this podcast, this Theme Park Thursday episode, we're going to talk about the walkout. And that's not like, we're so tired of Disney, we're walking and leaving. We don't mean that. No. That's not what we mean. We mean at the end of the night, when the adrenaline is slowly coming, you know, everything is winding down for the night. If your kids haven't melted down, if the 25,000 steps haven't, you know, made your sneakers melt into the pavement, you can enjoy the gloriousness of lesser humidity, of the twinkling lights as you exit from wherever you may be coming from, whatever direction. Maybe you're coming from Tomorrowland and the nice colors along the People Mover towards Cinderella Castle. And it could be down Hollywood Boulevard. It could be all the way from the back of Galaxy's Edge. It could be from the end of Luminous. No, it's Harmonious. No, it's Disenchanted. What is it? It's Luminous, right?
Then what were you calling it? Disillusionment?
Disillusionment. That's it. Disillusionment. That's what I called it at the meetup. It's Luminous, though. You know, from the end of your nighttime spectacular and out towards the monorail station in Epcot. I can't really say what the Animal Kingdom is like, so I don't think we're going to talk about that here. But, you know, I think there's
touch on it somehow.
The bioluminescence of Pandora, I guess, towards the Tree of Life. Sure. But that's what we're going to talk about here on the Disney walkout. And I'll get the ball rolling by saying that, you know, when we were kids and the end of our nights were generally one of 2 ways. There's either the electrical water pageant at the Polynesian, or it was walking out of Epcot after Illuminations. I don't think we really got a true understanding of walking out of the Magic Kingdom in those early years. What say you?
Yeah, that's probably true unless my feet were asleep and I couldn't feel my legs. That did happen
I mean,
at
and that
night.
right. And Spectral Magic and Electrical, once we started doing summer trips, that was a
Mhm.
different thing because
Yeah.
then we were seeing those parades. But definitely, and I almost said it, but when you were 5 or 6, that was more of I didn't do it this time. No 6, 7 here. That it was more of an Epcot
Mhm.
9:30 p.m. walkout.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, no, I think that's true. Yeah. Mhm.
so give me, where do you want to start? You want to start per park? Or you let's
Let's
yeah,
can we spend 30 seconds on the
yeah.
Animal Kingdom because I think it deserves it. We didn't cover Animal Kingdom at all in our 24 days of reviews because we didn't
We
go
didn't
during our
go.
meetup, and that was the only reason.
There was no time.
So let's just talk about it. To Jeffers' point in the comments, mm, it's not dark usually when Animal Kingdom closes. I have been. I feel like in 2018, were we
Oh,
in Animal Kingdom at night in Pandora?
correct. Because we did,
Yeah.
well, yes, because we did we did Rivers of Light
Uh-huh.
when they had the
Yeah.
show. Yeah, they
Mhm.
had the
Yep.
show.
Yep.
And we were over in Pandora, and so that is as close to, and it was late enough because we
Yeah.
saw the show.
Yeah.
So that was probably the only time. And
Mhm.
granted, the kids were they were at 3, 2, 1. They were 3,
Yeah.
about to be 2, and 1 about to be 1.
Mhm.
So that is you're not really focusing on the park as you're exiting the Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, and I had attended an event in Disney where there was a dinner in Animal Kingdom, and that was at night. And so I did walk out of that park at night. I think when we did the safari, it was dusk-ish,
Uh-huh.
and then when we did it was I remember it being dark when, like, we were eating and stuff. I don't have distinct memories of walking out of the park that night, but we may have also walked out backstage because it was an event. So that might also be why I can't remember, because we came in backstage, so I would suspect we probably went out the same way. Um, but, I would say the lighting on the tree is probably lovely, and I do think Pandora all lit up looks very nice.
No, and not here to disparage my favorite new word, the Animal Kingdom at night. I'm sure it is lovely.
Totally.
I just don't find reason to have to close my evening there.
Right. So moving on, and before we get into our specifics, I do want to say that Ryan said strategically get in line for the attraction the furthest from the exit point of the park, right at park closing time. That walkout is magic. Agreed. And I think we have discussed, Ogas and stuff. But do we want to go
Yeah.
park by park?
Yeah, I don't want to give honorable mention though
Yeah.
to the Universal parks, where I, for a time, enjoyed walking through Port of Entry at the front of Islands of Adventure
Uh-huh.
as an exit point. I think that also looks lovely at night.
Mhm.
And I, similar to you, I did a lot of events in Islands of Adventure in
Mhm.
my last 6 months of living in Orlando. So I think it's still, because I was over in the magical world of the wizarding world of Harry Potter over there at night in my last trip, and and it's still pretty dark in that park. I was like, this hasn't changed in 25 years. It's still dark.
Yeah.
But and then when I was at Halloween Horror Nights a couple years back, that that was also a little nostalgic for me. So I don't know if I have a walkout vibe for Universal Studios proper, but when it's
Mhm.
Halloween Horror Nights, that's a little extra there.
A little something. I think we should give honorable mention as well to walking out of Jelly Rolls to the boardwalk.
Oh, that's a good one. It's
Me
a good
too.
honor. It's, I mean, pretty. We in our self-reflection end of year videos going through things, I scrolled through those Jelly Rolls videos last week. I was like, oh man, this Jelly Rolls night was so good.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad that it's not there anymore.
Yeah, And I think we mentioned electrical water pageant. I think that's on the list. Disney Springs at night is also more about remembering what Pleasure Island was like, remembering I used to go to midnight movies at the AMC.
Yeah.
Like that's more where my brain goes there. And to say, here's my idea, because on New Year's Eve, they say if you start this movie at this
Oh,
time,
yeah. Mhm.
when midnight strikes, this awesome thing happens. Like people
Yeah.
do that. I love them all.
Yeah.
I read them all. I don't care what. I find them all great. I wish I could do them. And this is what I'll say. How Pleasure Island had it was New Year's Eve every night on Pleasure Island. Every night in that AMC, you play a movie. You start the movie at the time so that at midnight,
Mm.
the cool thing happens.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Perfect.
Do it. What are you waiting for, huh?
What are you waiting for?
What park you want to start with?
Mm, let's go. Let's go Magic Kingdom next. We did Animal Kingdom, so
Yeah.
now we'll just do the kingdoms. And we'll go to Magic Kingdom next because, as you mentioned, probably at a certain point of our childhood, we weren't doing as many nighttime walkouts of that. But I do feel in our adulthood we have done plenty. And I do even recall, I think I have talked about this before, of like I have a memory of Papa Dillo like carrying me up that ramp to the monorail,
Oh, yeah,
and
sure.
there is a certain feeling that I think about often at night in the parks that I'm like, oh, can I just like replicate that feeling of like you're tired from the parks. It's probably still a little bit warm, whatever it is. And then when you like go back to a deluxe resort bed and the air conditioning and just the journey that you're taking back, like whether it's on a monorail to the Poly or something, like, it's so good. That feeling, and I can't really describe it, but it's so good.
No,
It's-
and it definitely has to do with, you gotta be at the right level of exhaustion,
Yeah.
and you gotta be and the air conditioning has to be at the right temperature. This is what's so funny is that Papa Dillo, he would freeze us out back then,
Yeah.
which is why I need air conditioning all the time in my life now.
Which is why I'm always cold.
That was my question. Do you blame that?
Maybe.
But always ice cold temperatures
Yeah.
in the resort room. But if it was super hot and you were super exhausted, that didn't matter. It was
Right.
perfect.
Yeah.
So Magic Kingdom. Here's my funny thing about it is, especially coming at it from different angles. At the meetup, we walked. I saw Jeffers make a comment before, so this is going to seem rude. But we walked out from Jingle Cruise to the front of the park.
hmm
Holidays obviously adds a higher level
hmm
to that.
Yeah.
There is something about Adventureland and the Tiki Room tower that's right there, the whatever we call that, the veranda. Is it a veranda? Whatever is right there. There's something about that being lit up and walking out that way that I almost think. I don't know. I'm going to retract it, right? Back it up right away. I feel like Adventureland gives you one vibe walking out at night. Frontierland gives you a vibe walking out. And Tomorrowland and Fantasyland, they all have a different. If you're leaving from one of those areas, instead of I watched the fireworks and now I'm turning around and leaving, or I'm watching a nighttime parade and now I'm turning around and leaving, there's something about leaving from each of those lands and that being part of your walkout. To Ryan's point, that it's just different enough that to have its own vibe.
Oh, 100%. And I do think Adventureland, Frontierland probably provide the most nostalgic vibe.
Yeah.
Because they're still nostalgic lands.
Right.
They haven't really been changed much. And Fantasyland, I mean, if you're over in the Peter Pan Small World area, sure, that's still, what it was. But I feel like I find myself in, I don't know how many years now, almost like leaving more often from Tomorrowland than anywhere else. And so I feel like that seems to have become my path for a walkout. But I agree that all the lands um, uh, provide something different for the vibe. And I also think at this point I am never trying to leave with the fireworks crowd. So even if I
Hmm.
stand, even on the days I've been right in front of the castle and been watching the fireworks, I'm going this way so that
Right.
everyone else can go out that way. Um so yeah, but yeah, I agree that it's all very different. And I think the next two parks we'll talk about, we have experienced more quieter walkouts, and I don't find that I'm able to get that very often at
Hmm.
Magic Kingdom.
Right.
However, to the point Jeffers made earlier, now if you were to get a late Beacon Barrel reservation, that walkout perhaps would be quieter. Or I guess on the they don't really do extra magic hours at night anymore, right? They
Right.
have
I
the
mean,
early entry more than
yeah.
anything.
Right.
So I feel like those old school days.
Yeah.
I've seen people on TikTok talk about that and like people who were cast members during those days where they would stay open well past midnight
Right.
and on a summer night just cuz then you probably get more of that.
Uh, uh, my most memorable walk out of the Magic Kingdom as it currently stands,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of factors that play into this, is 2021 when I went solo
Uh-huh.
after you could do all the things again, sort of.
Da 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 da.
I walked out basically from Liberty Square to the exit, and
Mhm.
and Liberty Square was right as the sun was setting,
Mhm.
7:45. I got amazing pictures of
Uh-huh.
the magic hours colors there. And then, by the time you get down to, the flagpole, it's dark and the lights are out. I was like, that, like, if you get the right magical hour sky
Mhm.
and you time it right to get to town square, by that, like, that could be it right there,
Yeah.
because did some great colors behind Liberty Square, because we're all doing the America 250 this year,
Mhm.
and then all the way, that might be the move. But I will say that Main Street, I'm gonna say very happy this time that it was all in the Christmas decor when we were there in November, because Disneyland Main Street, walking out of there by
Mm.
myself at 11:30 or so, top tier.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
Yeah.
good. And what meetup or trip were we on? We were in the Magic Kingdom at night and we saw the kiss goodnight thing they do at the castle, which
Oh,
we had never seen before and only knew
yeah.
about because of social media. Like we had never even heard about it. And we were like,
Yeah.
oh, they're doing the thing. I
Yeah,
don't
that
remember
was
what trip that
when we
was.
just went down, me and you, for like the first third time we did 36 hours in
Oh, uh-huh.
2018. It was like right after my birthday.
Yeah.
And they did that. And that was a crazy, to talk about 2018 as the first year we did the podcast, but
Yeah.
that's crazy in its own right. But that first 36-hour trip you and I did as podcasters, that it was pouring rain, like, like right before we got to the park. We had gone to
Uh-huh.
Kona, like we do,
Obviously.
and but we like hit so many things in a short amount of time. You're
Hmm.
like, how did we do all these things in the Magic Kingdom?
Yeah.
And that's how but then we like almost fell into the kiss goodnight,
Yeah.
because we circled around and came out of Pirates and did the Adventureland walk, I
Hmm.
think, and ended up there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's we were like, what is this? This is awesome.
Yeah. And that was good because there was a lot of post rain ground
Yes.
glistening in the night, and it was
Hmm.
glorious.
Yeah. Sometimes, I know, especially in social media, that you see some of the horrendous effects of the Central Florida rain,
Yeah.
but it can really accentuate something sometimes. I'm just saying.
Yeah, the nice, like, little layer is lovely. This ankle deep, water, I don't no.
No, thank you.
No.
It's like Jen going on Tiana's Bayou Adventure at this point.
But same.
Oh, by the way,
Ugh.
yeah, it's official. The content not available. from Jens.
Ridiculous. What happened? What happened?
I probably double pressed the button on the record. Either that or it was dead already and I didn't realize.
Oh my goodness.
That's
Lewis is saying
unfortunate.
if you have the strength, staying an hour after any park close and being the last one dragged out is amazing, but harder and harder to do anymore. Yeah, very
that's
true.
right. Where do you want to take it, Epcot or Studios?
We'll do Epcot.
All right. This Beacons of Light.
Mm.
I never in a million years did I think you could replace the simple purple color of Spaceship Earth at the end of the night. I was so I remember August of 2021 when we were there seeing it for the last time like that, and then like a couple weeks later it was like I was like, oh, and then when you're there you're like, oh, they were able to change this for good. And I, every time I feel at this point, it hasn't been that many times, it's been enough times now, I feel dazzled by the Beacons of Light. I think it really makes for that walkout.
I mean, 100%. I think when we first heard about these beacons, we were like, don't change the color of the ball, and we were really worried about it. I agree 100%. If we could sit there all night and just watch it, I wouldn't care if I didn't get to do anything else except that. Yeah, I feel like Epcot, the Innoventions loop music is my favorite. But the new music still works. It's still very Epcot-y. These beacons, still very Epcot-y. They're making these changes, but then they're still holding on to that nostalgic vibe, and I appreciate them for that.
Well, and they took out the monuments in the front of the park and have the fountain, and so you definitely from the front portion of the park have a very nostalgic view of the Epcot entryway. And even with Beacons of Light, it still presents that nostalgia. Now, we talked about on the GO82 review and things like that, I want more of the area behind GO82 to feel a little more. That doesn't feel Epcot-y because Spaceship Earth looks great from all angles. I just want a little more in that area to really bring that walkout up. But any angle for if you're coming from the Nighttime Spectacular, like all the countries lit up a certain way can look great at certain points, but it's really, when you start coming down and seeing the pavilion, the pavilions of World Celebration and World Nature.
Absolutely not. We're not doing that.
There's something to that. It really like wraps you up as you're exiting.
Yeah. I think, when the kids were little and in a stroller, me and Mr. Snidillo would really try hard to be like, if they would fall asleep in this stroller, we could just do like a lap around World Showcase at night and it would just be perfection.
Yep.
I think another thing for Epcot that really makes the walkout just chef's kiss are the essential fountains.
Oh, yeah.
And it used to be the Fountain of Nations as well. The Fountain of Nations at night was awesome. But the essential fountains, hearing them, seeing them, sometimes they're lit a little certain way. Beautiful.
Yeah, and it's the buzz of the monorail going around too.
Yeah.
I mean, if because you also, if you're taking a monorail out, sometimes you're parking, whatever. But if you're taking a monorail to leave Epcot, it's almost like it's calling you in some ways. Like you'll get to sit down soon.
Yeah.
And I was like, follow the monorail out of the park.
Yeah.
It's that way. It's like Dorothy leaving Oz.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, in some ways, like the essential fountains, almost like what you were talking about with Pop Century. Like, can we just do a little cosmetic work over here to really, like, just give them a nice little polish over here?
Yeah.
But they really accentuate those things. And I almost similarly think you need a fountain on the opposite. I almost think you need mirror images at this point
Mhm.
to to bring that out a little more. But
Mhm.
that's minor things, because the music and Spaceship Earth and the monorail looping around and just, and the overall views uh really, like, transport you. Like, yeah, Main
Yeah.
Street, you feel transported, but that's all, like, that feels fantasy,
Mhm.
in some ways, where Epcot, you feel like you're somewhere completely different. You don't
Oh,
think
yeah.
you're in Florida. You don't think, I don't know. It
Mhm.
it it, it feels different.
Yeah, and it's just a really good park for the vibes,
Hmm.
all year round. I mean,
Yeah.
there are certain parks that get a little vibier with the holidays or whatever,
Uh-huh.
but Epcot can maintain those vibes
Yeah.
and a little bit of the nostalgia and a little bit of everything and the just the Epcot sounds and the Epcot feels and the Epcot lights and the fountains. They maintain that all year and it's just good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that I mean, it's harder to put into words than I thought, but yeah, it's an overall,
Yeah.
where Magic Kingdom kind of gives you can have options of what
Yeah.
your end of night feels like.
Mhm.
Epcot, you're correct, is a consistent. You will feel this way leaving
Yeah.
this park.
Yeah. 100%.
All right, so let's go over to hashtag always MGM,
Mhm. Your home
Hollywood
park.
Studios, my home park.
Mhm.
Let me start by saying, and I've said it many times before, for various reasons I did this, but uh, I used to always leave my shift. I would clock out wherever I
Mhm.
needed to clock out, but I would still walk out of the front of the park 9 times out of 10.
Mhm.
And a lot of that has to do with, and that was 96, 97, 98 ish, but that has to do with, in those summer of 92, summer of 93, summer of 94 trips, where most of the time we ended our nights at
Mhm.
studios, because we would do the late night Citizens of Hollywood shifts, and then we would do Muppets and Movie Ride and Star Tours, and that would be so I say 94 because of Tower of Terror opening at that time too. So those are the things you were hitting at night. So, and Sorcery of the Sky, I love my movie themes. So all of that
Mhm.
was like all the things that's all
Yeah.
I need in life at that time. And then to move on to the cast member, and that first summer of 96, 30 years ago this summer, everyone,
Mhm.
uh, we would do dining shifts, and Sorcery of the Sky would happen, and we would and the characters would just go out into the animation courtyard, and the kids would gather around because nobody was eating in the restaurant anymore,
Mhm.
and we would all watch the fireworks. And
Yeah.
so there's so many different memory night vibe things for me that you know I feel like studios defined
Mhm.
the adult version of the
Mhm.
walkout to me. So now, talking about Oga's, a couple of times we've left Oga's and walking out of Galaxy's Edge at night when it's quiet is
Yeah.
amazing, whether I have a
Yeah.
lightsaber in my hand or not. Doesn't matter. But also, riding Slinky at night and
Mhm.
walking out that way is equally pretty cool.
Mhm.
And I'll start there.
Start there. Um, I feel like, yes to all of those things and yes to the adult vibes of walking out of studios now. But I feel like a lot of what I feel when I'm walking out is the memories of Streetmosphere, when they would be up in the storefronts coming out of the window, and it's
Yeah.
dark, even if they're not closing out the park that way, but, they would be doing sets, it's nighttime. I think about that. The Pluto up
Oh, yeah.
above the stores,
Mm.
if that's not lit, and there's been times it's not, I'm like, "What?" I this isn't complete. This isn't a complete walkout because it needs to be lit up. Because at Pluto, I took a picture with my little pink camera with the big flash that goes on top here.
That's
I'll
right.
put a picture in the Discord for you guys. I think you've probably seen it on social media, but I remember taking a picture of that Pluto with that camera. And so it's just all these like little things that add to it. I also think it's a part of the park that has not changed much,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that right there on that strip. So and having that be the tail end of the walkout through studios, I appreciate going from like a Galaxy's Edge, which is newer and
Mhm.
looks beautiful and is quiet at night, and having that tail end of nostalgia. It's like a nice complete circle there.
Yeah, that's a great point to go kind of from, hey, this is, by the way, Galaxy's Edge opened 7 years this summer. What
It's
is
new.
that?
It's brand new.
What is
Brand new.
happening? How is that 7 years ago? But true that the kind of quiet vibes after being in Oga's and then being able to almost walk through classic studios,
Mhm.
whether you're walking around through Star Tours or walking down Commissary Lane there,
Yeah.
is definitely a part of it. Like there was nothing better to me when I would clock out. And I don't want to like get sad about Muppets Courtyard, but Muppets
Mm,
Courtyard at night was
yeah. Yeah.
also awesome. That
Amazing.
fountain, the very mellow versions of the background music of the Muppet songs. That was all awesome, and they've changed it, and there's the Osborne Lights thing, but
Mhm.
Sunset has kind of picked up where the Osborne Lights left off in terms of the
Mhm.
Christmas vibes. I
Mhm.
find Sunset Boulevard to be very Christmassy,
Yes. Mhm.
and it's not a lot going on,
Mhm.
but it's enough that it really accentuates the holidays to me more so than Hollywood Boulevard, which I
Mhm.
also like. I like that Sunset kind of like it's a little more Christmassy this way,
Yeah.
and yeah, and there's a lot that has changed, but you're correct. As you get closer to the crossroads at the front there, that it kind of eases you back into how it was,
Yeah.
and which Main Street has that too.
Yeah.
Is it's hard to compare Main Street to Hollywood Boulevard,
Mhm.
but at the same time, for those purposes of we're things change back here, but you'll always remember it how it was at the front.
Yeah.
That needs to stay.
Yeah. 100%. Oh man, Ryan saying last year at Cheer Nationals, UCA rented out Hollywood Studios for an after party, and while my daughter and friends rode Slinky, I walked around an empty Galaxy's Edge for over half an hour. Top 10 park
Oh
experience.
man,
Oh yeah, that would be amazing. Um, yeah, and I don't know it, but Disney at night, and we have had the what's better night versus morning
yeah,
discussions throughout the years. Disney at night just hits different, as the kids say. Did the kids say that? I feel
I think
like,
they might. I don't
but
know.
it does, and it's vibier, it's calmer. There's a lot to take in. There's always the smells and the sounds and all of that, but it's just different at night, and for me, there is a very nostalgic tie to like nighttime Disney, and I don't fully understand what that's about. Especially that probably some of our nighttime Disney memories are like 6 o'clock in January. But like there's just I don't know. There's something about it though, and you know, it in a way that the daytime does do. I love some mornings. I love waking up on a Polynesian balcony and drinking coffee.
Mhm,
Glorious.
mhm.
I did that once. And, the morning dew in Disney, I love, but those nighttime vibes, man, it's good.
Yeah, and I think that it's funny. In some ways it is. There's so much hustle and bustle during the day.
Mhm,
Peak crowds, everyone trying to get everything in. There's just more, you know, the energy wears off, the humidity wears off, as I said at
mhm,
the top. I think that's a big factor.
yeah,
And things seemingly, though I can't prove this, I don't know how I would, get quieter, right?
yeah,
And just in volume, I
yeah,
think.
mhm,
Where everything seems like go, 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 go. Like you feel like you're just surrounded by this ambient noise a lot, but suddenly that all alleviates at a certain point of the day,
yeah,
and all of a sudden you're able to appreciate the views more and take things in more, and and slow down a little bit, which is what we've been saying all this time. So you gotta give yourself a walkout in 2026 if you're listening right now. If you have never done appreciated the walkout before, you gotta do the walkout. Pick a park, any park. Animal Kingdom is fine too. and walk out of the park. And to Ryan's point, you start as far deep as you can. Take your time.
Yeah.
Take your time getting out of the park.
Yeah. It's one of those, you got to appreciate the moment. And you got to really just stop thinking about the ride, stop thinking about the lightning lane, stop thinking about snacks, and just appreciate the moment you're in. I did see that Lewis mentioned. Did Lewis mention something just here? Where did I just see it?
I see Ryan mentions he's asking about the sunrise videos. Yes, they
Listen,
still
I was
exist
about to
on
bring
Disney
that up,
Plus.
Ryan. I was about to bring that up as I was talking about the morning dew before. Then it exited my brain. So thank you very much. Yes, they do still have those videos on Disney Plus. I watch them almost every weekend. Probably I put it on. I go, everyone, shh. See how nice this is? Disney's waking up. Isn't this lovely? And I love it. And then we get a little bit sad. We all get a little bit sad as we watch it because we're not there. But one, still no studios wake up. Let's go. Enough already. 2, I think we need walkouts. And those are very easy to do. Do a nighttime version of that. I understand the sunset part, probably not, but you could do a true night after the park closes. Take those cameras around and get those vibes.
No, and the Disneyland 70 videos they posted over the summer, you're pretty close to that in a lot of those videos. A lot of it's shot at night. A lot of it is, ride POVs, but some of them do take you from the outside of the attraction and in. And sometimes you go, oh, I just need this part. Can I just have what we're walking around through outside? I like that.
Yeah, 100%.
More of those videos.
Yes, please. I found the comment I was thinking about with Lewis before. Oh, it just jumped again. It keeps jumping. That Lewis said they did these 6 a.m. extra magic hours around Galaxy's Edge, and 6 to 8. It was amazing, amazing. Jeff is also saying mornings are full of excitement and anticipation. Evenings are reflection and that feeling of wrapping up and completion of memories made.
Oh, Jeffers, that's really deep.
Jeffers, very poetic. I feel like we have to end on that.
Yeah, I think I don't think we can top that. It's not even our words. But we will conclude. We will walk out of this episode of Theme Park Thursday with Dillo's Diz. Until next time, she's Jen and I'm Frank. Bye-bye.
Deuces. The Dillos Diz podcast is hosted by Frank Cardillo and Jen Cardillo-Snyder. Music produced by Matt Harvey. Logos and video production courtesy of Snidillo Studios. Dillos Diz Resort is our Patreon with tiers starting as low as $1 per month. You can visit dillosdizresort.com to learn more. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, X Twitter, and Facebook at Dillos Diz. Check us out on YouTube by visiting youtube.com/DillosDiz. Don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there. We also have merch available on TeePublic and Etsy. For all this and more, visit our one-stop shop, dillosdiz.com.